as we know, you'll be getting married soon sometime. So just if you can just share about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Nikhil Berry. I grew up in Delhi, and um, I've been, I guess, I have some experience of organizing marriages, starting with my sister's marriage. My marriage is on the cards, but not finalized yet. But hopefully that will happen in the next few years. I'm currently in New York, and I work at a hedge fund right now.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. So when it comes to the wedding, what do you think? What is the most important thing in a marriage?
In the marriage planning process or just
Yeah,
marriage in
yeah,
yeah
wedding, yeah.
I think it's a bunch of things, but really the whole process from inviting to figuring out where and when what would happen, what event would happen. But the I guess the main point is really figuring out the events. I think that's the first step. What events and where that would happen. And I think from there are other multiple challenges.
So you would also plan to go for a destination wedding or something like that, or
Yeah, let's assume, but nothing finalized. Let's assume it'll be a destination. But
yeah, okay.
I mean, past experience has also been in a destination wedding. So hopefully the future one would also be that.
Okay. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of inviting the guest, or how do you plan to communicate to the guest about your marriage?
I mean, the first step is just making a list of people you want to invite. I think
Mm,
the way we did it was we put everything in an Excel sheet to track one who we are going to invite,
mm,
how many members would be joining,
mm,
and how we would be sending that invite. Some of them were local, some of them were in other states, some of them were in other countries.
mm,
Um, so it we wanted to give a heads up to everyone and block the date. So the first step was really just WhatsApp and telling everyone save the dates, and then after that it was just planning out the cards and design and everything, getting the cards made and mailed.
mm. Do you think this consumes a lot of time, like putting up the list, getting the addresses to send them, as you were telling me, and a lot of time goes into this?
It was certainly time consuming. Even um, making a WhatsApp group took time because you don't have everyone's number.
Mm,
So some people you're not in touch with, but and that took time. And the other piece was just getting in touch with everyone, then getting their addresses, which came in different messages, keeping a track of those messages. We ended up taking the data from the messages and put that in the Excel sheet. And then basically that's how we tracked how many were sent and how many are pending.
yes, exactly. So how would you prioritize the marriage invite in comparison to the other marriage function and the tasks that we have, especially in the Hindu marriage that we have?
How would you compare what?
How will you prioritize on what priority
Prioritize.
keep? Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think the first or the key step is just dates plus venue.
Yep.
Once that is finalized, I think the second key step would be then sending invites out.
And how would you go about shortlisting an invitation?
Who to send an invitation to?
Yeah, if you have to, like, how do you? Yeah.
I mean, if for example my sister is getting married, I mean, I think
Think about yourself. If you are going ahead tomorrow and you're getting
Mhm.
wedding card? What was the first step? How would you go about it?
I mean, again, different levels, right? First, it was like obviously you're near and dear ones. So you will start with that. Then go to the next level. Your friends, maybe your um sister's friends, your mother's friends, and just how just traverse the circle based on that.
From a design side, I mean, how will you finalize? This is what I want to go for. What kind of a invite would you go for in today's?
Oh, from the okay. I mean the physical or digital or both.
I don't know what do you like
I
to?
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's so much happening.
it'll be a combination of both. I said like digital is important just to give a heads up early on.
Yeah.
And then physical will come later.
Okay. Um, I'm sure you've been there in the US also. You know about the Indian culture also. Is there anything special that you had recently seen out over there or in India that you recently saw an invite and you like to carry it forward or something in your invite?
Um, People generally make a, I guess like a combo website here, which is one details of what is happening. So instead of making like a just an image with like please message me to RSVP like how typically people do. It's a proper website with details, with photos of the bride and groom and details of the events and a way to RSVP there. Also, there's a wedding registry, so if you don't want to carry gifts, you can just buy something off the registry.
Okay. Uh, okay. And how many days? Okay, how many days or months before do you would you like to send invite to your guest?
Um, Ideally, couple of months before to give enough time to plan.
Okay, would you be taking help of somebody while you choose or finalize any invite?
Not for the digital one, I think, just because I have enough experience creating that stuff. But for the physical one, definitely, yeah.
Okay, okay, but you would like to send both of them, as you said, first maybe with the digital or then later
Yeah,
physical.
later the physical, yeah.
Okay. Would you involve your partner or your parents to finalize the physical one? How would you go about
Yeah,
it?
yeah, certainly. Like I think it'll be a combination of choices of people who are getting married. So, and then maybe just the immediate family members if they want to involve them. But for
Yeah.
me, I will be obviously involving them.
Would you go on shortlisting by yourself, or you would take nowadays, if you go for all these marriages, now you have wedding planners or so. So would you be asking them, or do you think this is very personalized and you would like to go and choose and decide invite?
I mean, I think a wedding planner can be helpful for the main events,
Yeah.
but for this this stuff, I think I probably would be doing it by myself.
Okay.
With obviously going to a vendor and working with them.
Is there any research that you have ever done or any tool that you have used on a website or an app that can help you with a wedding invitation that you have recently used for maybe for your sister or have you ever looked for yourself?
Digital?
Yeah, digital, yeah. Anything, yeah.
Um, I think I remember using like Figma or Canva, um, just to create that card. I think they have templates, and
Okay.
um, in some cases I used Photoshop, but that really wasn't required.
Hmm.
It was mostly, I think, the ones that had template, and there were like a couple of other apps on the App Store as well
Okay.
that have these templates. But this is like a simple card. But I think even for creating like a wedding website, there are I think Squarespace, Wix, and all of them have templates that you can use.
Hmm. Okay. Do you think people will mind? This is a new thing, the new trend. You also spoke about it, the digital one. Uh,
Hmm.
how do you think if you, I mean, you must have also received. Are you happy with it, or do you think, as per the Hindu culture, we always have to go and give it to people physically or so, or that is a must? Or you think nowadays a changing trend is happening after COVID, since COVID is the digital one. This is fine. We can, it's pretty good enough to go ahead with the digital one only.
Um, I think again it probably still makes sense to go in person if you can.
Hmm.
Not obviously it's not if you're inviting like 500 people, it's hard to go to everyone's house and invite them personally.
Yeah.
But for the first layer of like relatives that are very close, maybe like after 500 people, maybe do that for like 100 people, 100, 200 people, and then rest of them can be just that maybe send the physical invite and call them instead of going in person.
Okay. You spoke about family, friends. You spoke about your friends. You might have office colleagues, and so how do you segregate them? Is it would you be inviting them in all the functions, or there are specific functions that you plan to invite them? Your friends, maybe your office colleagues, or so. How do you plan to do that?
Yeah, I mean, given depending on the number of functions, but generally you have like obviously the manage is the main one. Maybe people have Shagun slash Sangeet, and then maybe a couple of other events prior to the main event. So um, the way it would be done is again like how close someone is. So if it's like close friends or close family, they obviously will be getting invited to everything. But if it's like office colleagues, it's probably a little more professional. So maybe just to the main event.
Yeah. So you mean maybe if it's a office, might send just like
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So you mean if your office colleague, you may send him a digital invite. You may not be required a physical or so. Maybe if somebody is close one, you may send him the both the invites or so. Is that how you also plan to do? Or
Yeah. Again, based on how close they are. I mean, digital, everyone would be getting it. Because again, that's meant to be sent out 2 to 3 months in advance.
yeah.
Um, and physical, again, yeah, I mean, if it's the first layer of that is certainly getting it, and if you can, um, if it's feasible to go in person and give it to someone and they're close enough,
Uh,
physical would also be preferred.
okay. Um, as you're planning, you will definitely, as you also said, you might be going for a destination wedding or a five-star or some resort, something. Is there anything special that you would like to do to your invite to make it look unique?
Um,
Anything personalization? I am just talking like would
yeah,
something.
I mean, I think the way to personalize is just through photos. Probably get like a few pre-wedding photos, kind of a setup. And maybe that could be at the venue, shows like parts of the venue,
Mhm.
um, just to give a sneak peek into where the wedding is and how and what the place is like.
Sure. Okay. Has it ever happened? Somebody, how do you keep a track of somebody sends you an invite? How do you keep a track of it? That is when you have to go. Have you ever faced a problem for, or you forgotten sometime? How do you keep, basically, is how do you keep a track of it?
So if I get a digital invite, how do I keep a track of where to go?
Physical or anything? Yeah, both of them. How do you keep a track?
I mean, the address is usually mentioned, and
Yeah.
the address is usually available on Google Maps.
Yeah.
So, um, for some of the digital ones are good in the sense that you can actually click on the address
Yeah.
and it pops up. But usually, it's just maps and you navigate through that.
Yeah. So digital ones are more easy to use, easy to remember, really help you out with these.
Yeah.
When it comes to map, you can connect it with the Google Map or so, and you can just go.
Yeah, and the physical one, sometimes like we've misplaced the physical one. So,
Yep.
if it's like a couple of months after you receive the card, like there are chances to lose it. So digital copy is certainly a must, I think.
Okay. What do you do once you received a card from any of your friend now? I mean physical ones. What do you do? How long do you keep it for?
Generally up till the wedding,
Uh,
up until the wedding, and then after that, probably gets disposed of.
yeah. And how do you discard it? Do you think it's very difficult to discard, especially the Hindu invites and all, because people tend to put the photos of goddesses and so.
Yeah. I think it's, I guess some people give it into to a mandir or something,
Yeah.
so you don't have to like throw it directly. But it's certainly not straightforward to just dispose it.
Oh, cool. Do you think you'll keep your card tomorrow once you will like to have your card somewhere so you can remember it? What will you do?
My own card, yeah, maybe get it framed if it can be framed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, get it framed, put it next to the wedding pictures,
Yeah, cool.
and never look at it again.
Cool, super cool. Nikhil, frankly telling you, I've got so many good insights from you. It is going to really help me. I've put them down. Thank you so much for all your time. It's really going to help me out. Thank you so much for sparing your
I'm
time.
glad it will. And let me know if you have
Yes,
any other
pretty much.
questions.
Yeah. This is really, I wanted some insights and very good insights have come from you. Definitely. Hope
All right.
we are looking forward to your marriage invites.
Hopefully the survey will produce good insights that we can apply to that.
Yeah, I hope that December, December, and we get to see something.
No, don't get your hopes too high. December is just 4 weeks
Yeah,
away.
you never know. We all were asking, what all happens. Thank
ठीक है.
you so much, Nikhil. See you soon, huh?
All right, भैया. See you soon.
Keep me posted when you're coming.
Will do. All right.
Definitely, I'm
All
gonna
right. See you.
invite you out over here. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, Nikhil. Bye. See you.